Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. This pick a card reading is a general reading, so it should fit any situation you find yourself in. As always, we have our piles here with group 1 on the left through to group 3 on the right. The timestamps will be in the description box below, along with the cards that I'm using. If you'd like a private reading with me, the information is in the description box below. You can book that there. There's also links to my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you'd like to check those out, feel free to do so. And that being said, I'll leave you with your selection, and I hope you enjoy your message. Hey, group 1, and welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the Lemurian seed crystal, then this one is for you. The Lemurian seed is my absolute favorite in my collection. I've had it for a really long time. It was a gift from my brother, and it has been there for me through some really dark stages in life, of course. I think had it since about 2011, so it's been a while. And so Lemurians are an ancient civilization who are very much teachers of unconditional love, and they would use these Lemurian seed crystals to align with unconditional love, with the ebb and flow of the rest of the universe. They're very benevolent energy from the Lemurian seed. So let's jump into your reading. I want to say healing, just because of the way that crystal, I've given it so much credit for so many things, because it's really been there for me in just the darkest of times, and helped me truly transform my whole life in so many different ways. So I wonder if that resonates with you, because it doesn't really get chosen very often. This is the crystal that comes with me everywhere. It's on the table for every reading. It's just my number one piece. So it was quite exciting to see Jackson choose that piece for your group today. Let's have a look at your cards and see why, hey? We've got a fair bit of strong energies on the table here. It's very clear that life for group 1 right now is transforming in a big way. There's massive awakening happening for you, I would say. I will just say I can see Cancer, Libra, Aquarius, Virgo, Leo, Taurus, and Aries on the table. Could be your sign, might not. It's okay if it's not. Let's just jump into the past energy with the tarot here for you. Group 1, we've got all this beautiful blue, but we have the Chariot, Judgment, and the Star. So it does look like in the recent past, did I say 2 before? Group 1, I feel this is a massive time of change for you on a very deep personal level with this Chariot and the Judgment and Star. It's like you've really truly realized what you want out of life, or what is sort of getting an idea of what is required of you to really evolve into yourself, to really, like, this is a really becoming message. It feels like you are really stepping into your power and really coming into your own in a big way in all areas of life here. Some of you may be struggling with some of that change as well as it comes. So that does feel like a bit of a birthing process and a little bit painful at times, and we'll get through that in this reading here. But in the past, the energy shows you aligning with something really healthy and feeling like the sun is shining on you, the stars are aligning for you, and that you really know which way to go now, or have this feeling inside of your heart that what is true and what is going to be healing, and it's like you're taking these steps to make that happen for yourself. With Judgment here, it talks about really large level of awakening, especially with the rest of these cards, the way she reaches up to the heavens, and the way this sunflower is guiding the way. Oh. Sneezes. Anyway, thanks to those out there that said bless you. I kind of felt that. Anyway, I do feel as well here that there's just, as you've come into this awareness, this awakening, this shift, this change, and you're sort of going with it, and I see you going with it, there's blessings that do surround you. I can already see here that the snow is thawing. This light is letting the snow thaw, and it's actually uncovering some really beautiful parts of your being, or the parts of your life that are really beautiful and blessed that you once overlooked or didn't get the opportunity to really have gratitude or really nurture, but they're now starting to see parts of yourself that require nurturing that you didn't, notice before, or the things in your home space, or the things that are in your life that are real blessings that you could, if you spend a little more time and you perhaps have been doing that, you're starting to really see what can come from this. I'm getting like a little bit of a, oh my god, like really, this could happen, or like it's just starting to see that the little seeds you plant now, what that blossoming might just look like. I think there's a lot of excitement, and I'm just hearing holy blessings, okay, really clearly there, and I'm just really noticing the lotus on the star card here as well. We're talking about that beautiful life where you do that awakening journey with just one petal at a time. Holy blessings, hey? Love to hear about it. Let's jump into the current energy with the 10 of Wands, where you might find yourself, and it's to say that there will be days, and maybe currently for you right now, where it does feel like really big change has to happen and you like there's excitement and there's something that's really pushing you forward and driving you forward and invigorating you even, but in the same sense you're still moving through change and letting things go and realizing what needs to be let go. And I feel like some of this 10 of Wands is a bit of a pressure you've maybe putting on yourself to get there already, or to be in some place already, and not be out of this birthing canal so fast when it's painful and it's happening. But anyway, further into the week ahead, we have got the 3 and the 9 of Cups. So it's sort of like some days might be a bit of heavy lifting and a bit of struggle, where you just get the necessities done, where you're really tending to your responsibilities in life and just trying to step up that little bit more healthy eating, like just applying a bit more effort for yourself, to show up for yourself in a way that's going to be really healthy and supportive for your body, your mind, your dependents, your family, your home space, all of those. I'm feeling like a real responsibility energy, but also coupled with a lot of overthinking while you're getting about your day, and perhaps just, like starting to think, oh gosh, the mountain's a bit high that I'm yet to climb. I've still got a really long way to go, or something like that. But truly, that the next day comes and you're back in that flow again. I kind of feel like there might be a few times when you just feel like it's a bit much yet to do or yet to change, but a big part of all of this as well is just letting that go and coming back to center and back into the now and doing what you can with what's in front of you, which brings you to the 3 and the 9 of Cups, where this week you obviously have something worth celebrating here. Maybe it's a wish fulfillment coming true for you. There could be this could be literally anything. For a lot of you, it may be getting to catch up with somebody very special, a sister, a girlfriend, your partner. It could be a reunion, someone you haven't seen in a while. 9 of Cups, it could just be an event that's happening, or something that's very nice, an occasion of some kind, and it looks to be a really lovely time. You're getting to show as well, you share with your friends perhaps some of your own personal growth that's happened. I'm getting, for some people, this is like the birth of a new child, or you're meeting your friend's new baby or something like that. Definitely feel that for someone out there. So it could be quite literal as getting to catch up with family and just feel good about the moves you're making, and hearing about what other people are doing and celebrating them as well. It is a beautiful energy. And then as we progress into the week, I'll just grab the rest, where we do have the 8 of Swords, the Fool and the Hermit. Can I hold them? Yes, I can. So this is what I'm seeing here for this week, where there are days where, most days this week I feel will be nice and flowy, and but there's a fair bit of responsibility here too. There's like a real energy of building and focusing and getting things done, the stuff that needs to be done, the stuff that perhaps is frequently overlooked, maybe deep spring cleaning, or the stuff, the paperwork, whatever. So with the 8 of Swords, the Fool and the Hermit, I do feel as well, so I kind of get this sense where maybe you do have good time with friends and connection and things are feeling good, but then when it's time to retreat and return back to the reality and the responsibilities, you may overthink again. So with the 8 of Swords, the Fool, the Hermit, you might just be a little overwhelmed with the new path you're taking, and where is it all going to lead, and have I got what it takes, and have I got the right answers, and am I connecting to the right guidance, and all of those, a lot of self-doubting questions about direction is what I feel. And truly, you need just ground yourself in these moments and just be okay with the not knowing, and be open to the unknown, and to be receptive to receive, receptive to life, to blessings, to connection, to learning, to just self-care and rest, I think, as well, taking it quite easy and slow this week. I do see responsibility and friends and connection in the times when that schedule is open and not full, you got space to perhaps, take a little time to meditate, or go for a nice walk in nature, or just do some sweet little self-care things that are going to help just ground you and support you as you move through this, I want to say, kind of a little bit turbulent part of your ride. But it's not that turbulent though. It's just, I don't know how to say. I think because it's general and everyone might be a little different. Some people might experience this as an extreme turbulence for a whole day, and it might take a lot of self-care to get yourself through that whole day. Others, it might just be an hour or a moment, but what I do see a lot of here is you supporting yourself and being supported and feeling supported by the universe, and being able to connect quite easily with self-care practices that diffuse situations of exploding or whatever might come up, or overthinking, or coming out of that head back into the body. A nice yoga practice does that so well for me. I find yoga is a great practice for dissipating energy and transmuting old energy, sort of see it happen before your eyes. Go deep with your practices and make them your own to really find that sort of result from them. I think it takes a bit of developing and showing up there. All right, so in the challenge, we have got the 7 of Wands, the Tower, and the 8 of Pentacles. And honestly, this just feels like the challenge of forging the new self. That's kind of how it feels for me. And with the 7 of Wands, it can talk about, needing to really stay true to your own beliefs, or stand up for yourself and what you want. And so some people might see this change happening in your life, and they may be wanting different for you, or not everyone's going to agree with what you want. But so what I see here is, regardless of what other people's opinions are about what you're doing or where you're headed, you need to stay the course here and continue this dismantling that is happening. So whatever it is that's not stable in your life, that is falling apart, old identities, relationships, habits, patterns, templates, whatever it is, what I feel here, especially because look at him there with the anvil, he's forging something new. I kind of feel like this is you busting yourself open here. And so you may be a little defensive as you go through so much change, because you're going to have really different reflections coming at you at this time, I would say. But stay true to your course, stay true to your path. For some of you, might be struggling financially and trying to find work. It might be paid work. Maybe there's been an issue in the workplace and you're needing to find something that's going to be a bit more stable for you. That might be the challenge where you're at right now, needing to go and break free into a different workplace or a different situation. I really feel like these energies are just truly the forging process that is the challenge. And sometimes there's going to be triggers, and those are things that are there for you to identify and heal and work through, because there's a lot to do with health and healing here, and a lot about discovery of thyself. In what will help with the challenge, we have got the 9 of Pentacles, Strength, and the 5 of Pentacles. So this is it. There are times where you are challenged and you feel like you haven't got what it takes, or maybe the world's up against you, or not everyone is agreeing with you, or perhaps there's one person in particular you feel is very much against you, or doesn't believe in you, or for something like this energy. Anyway, wherever it is that you may feel triggered and perhaps left in the cold, alone, haven't got it, not gonna, just all the no's. That bull, I feel like it's part of yourself that you do need to learn to control or temper here as well, because you're actually way more abundant than you realize. See the difference here? And this, I feel like this bull is this imposter syndrome, or this voice that says things that are not so nice. It could also be somebody else, or a bit of both, triggered by someone else perhaps, who knows. But there's this struggle inside self that you've got what it takes to overcome. With the 9 of Pentacles, this is someone who is very grateful for all that they do have, and therefore attracts even more abundance. This is somebody who is well of health, looks after themselves, healthy eating. I often get like a real natural raw diet, sort of, plant-based diet, like real healthy eating. Nine of Pentacles often makes me feel that way. But it's also to see yourself as abundant, because you are. It's some to see yourself as capable, and also making moves to obtain more financial abundance here from the 5 to the 9. You're turning that around, so there's a lot of focus on your finance right now, and maybe some things you need to do to make that happen. There's a lot of talk here about getting the responsibilities done. I did mention paperwork earlier, and so things to do with that, you know, get it done. It's that sort of thing. You've got oracle cards that speak on that as well, we'll get to. In further guidance here, you've got a lot of pentacles. So you've got the 7 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the 10. And that's what your focus is right now. For this big change, there's so much change happening in your life, but it looks like it will quite heavily affect you financially. For many of you. And so I see here the further advice here is to continue investing, continue forging with that 8 of Pentacles we saw, the 9 of Pentacles, continue this showing up energy. There may be some investments that are available to you, that become available to you soon, to make even more money, or a new job opportunity, or perhaps even studying something that takes you to build a business, or there's something here for you that grows. We've got a 7 of Pentacles, which is investment and spending all of your time and money on something perhaps that you don't really see the results for straight away, but it brings you opportunities, or you create opportunities for yourself from this focused energy, from this rebuilding energy. And with the 10 of Pentacles at the end there, you really, like, some of you are buying a new home or setting yourself up with a business or investing in something that really benefits you in the long run, because the outcome, which is amazing, I want to hold them all together, the outcome is actually the Emperor and the Empress with the Ace of Pentacles, which is massive. So whatever this is, this heaviness you're moving through, this doubt, this fear, this uncertainty, it's fine. I just want to say it's fine. Just looking at this Chariot and Judgment and Star, like everything is aligning for you. I might not always feel that way, but things are really opening up for you to have a different life and to have a really nice life. And for some of you, that's with a beautiful relationship that's very strong. For others of you, that's a really healthy partnership in business. And for some of you, this is your energy completely, where you are the masculine and feminine showing up in that, like I said at the beginning, like this is a real becoming message. And oh my God, do you become? And the Ace of Pentacles here as well, to speak on this fresh new beginning that you have, all this new life, that everything you're working towards. There's so many pentacles in this reading. My goodness. But yeah, with the Emperor and the Empress, there's also a beautiful balance in your life here, where you not only do you work hard, but you also play and rest well too. Like, you've got the best of both worlds here. Things really work out. Underlying energy of this reading is the 9 of Wands, and I'm not surprised, because the 9 of Wands talks about somebody who shows up again and again, regardless of how many times they're knocked down. Yeah, they've been wounded, but they learn and they keep persevering because they know what they want. And I really pick a strong fighter energy in group 1 this week. Really strong. And not in a self-sabotaging fighting way. Like the fight of life. Like you've got this drive inside of you. Real strong Mars energy. All right, so in the oracle cards, you have Way of Faith. Let faith be your guide. 100%. This message is a really sweet and simple message to say exactly that, to let yourself just be moved. And even when you're not so certain about what is unfolding in front of you, especially with the Fool and the Hermit here, and like, this is exactly this card. As soon as I saw these 3 come out, I'm like, yeah, well, that's that oracle card in one, because it's like, it's really asking you to have faith and just trust that inner knowing that something's pulling you somewhere, and you don't know where it is, but it's all new, and so a lot of this is stuff you're still yet to learn about. But it's anxiety inducing, perhaps a little fearful, but you're asked to just, flow with this course that life is taking you on, and truly have faith that you are really secure and safe on this journey, and it's happening for a reason. You have the beautiful card Ascendant. I love this deck. I want to read it from the book because it is a sweet message. I'll go to action. Ascendant is your rising sign. It says entrance at the bottom. How do you see the world? Take a long look at the assumptions and presumptions through which you filter your experience of reality. Really look at how your privilege, trauma, or certain attributes of your history can distort the reality of the moment. Do what you can to dismantle those obstructions so you can see the whole view. Conversely, look carefully at the signals you send off. Do they match your intent? Do you say you're fine when you really need a hug? Are you trained to sound modest or apologetic when really you know what you're doing? Do you act like you know what you're doing when you don't? Notice what you project into the world and take responsibility for how you are seen. The ascendant is where you become visible. If this makes you nervous, investigate what needs to be healed and where you need to grow your confidence in order to feel comfortable being seen. If you are asked about a project, look for what needs to be repaired or improved before you hold a press conference. If you are asking about a project, okay. The challenge for this card can be the front door is only one part of the house. Be willing to look beyond appearances and into the heart, but don't count on others' ability to do so. The gift is over time your reputation is built on what you do, not how you look. And so much of this whole reading has been about investing in something quite strong, and you will end up looking fantastic for whatever it is you do, like really strong, and people really happy to see that growth in you. But this ascendant is a really becoming message within itself as well, to show up and really think about how you show up and the way you see the world, and how the world sees you, as the card says. So we also have sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. There's a lot of messages throughout the whole tarot about really stepping that up and being there for yourself. Nourishment on a very deep level as well. I'm getting like lots of time in nature, maybe in natural bodies of water, taking supplements and vitamins, getting really good nutritious food into the system, sleeping well. We've got read. The more you read, the more you'll learn. For some of you, this is about study, right, and getting to it. For others, expanding your horizons with books or different information. We have security here, which has a beautiful little resonance with this card. Candles, because maybe you like to have candles burning a little more frequently lately. I like to light candles with the intention that fire is purifying and therefore my space is clear. So I like to have candles quite often. But even for ambience and relaxation, they're so lovely. And for gazing, you can do for fire scrying or wax readings or whatever you like to do. But anyway, we also have security here as well. And this is a message that asks you to be responsible for your life, to show up and be sure that things are secure. You know, the registration in the cars are paid, the tires are not bald, you know, everyone's wearing their seatbelt, things are checked off and in order. But it's also a card to just trust that everything is okay and that you are secure, safe, and provided for. I just saw 2222 on my time of recording, so and that might be a message for you as well. You might see that number quite frequently, but this message of security, I think, is also just one to trust that you are safe and secure and that everything here is going to work out just perfectly. The Eight of Swords, as it comes up in your week, you just need to know that maybe trying something a little differently, relying on your own inner wisdom to get through that, will really bring you into your own personal power and just attract so much more abundance and goodness into this fresh beginning of whatever it is that's happening here for you. So group one, that is what I have for you this week. I hope this reading has resonated with you, given you some sort of comfort, clarity, or guidance. If you're after a private reading, you can book them in the description box below, and I'll leave you with that, group one. I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Hey group two, and welcome to your reading. If you've chosen this gorgeous piece of mookaite, and this one is for you. I'm just turning it so slowly because it's just so beautiful. I love this creamy color and then the beautiful yellow tip. It's so gorgeous, and it's a nurturing stone, one to help us guide us through times of decision making and maybe even times of stress and wondering if we're making the right decision about things. But group two, your reading is beautiful this week, and I love it. I love it so much. I hope I'm a group two this week. So let's jump straight in. So in the past energy, you have the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like I could sit in the past energy for a long time in this particular reading, because it feels like it's quite important to discuss what you've come from and what you've been through in your life journey, and maybe even in a particular relationship. This Nine of Wands here, the Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, times are changing for you. Things are turning around. You feel a lot wiser at this point in your journey, and that needs to be said as well for some reason. You might be at a time now where you're starting to really pay attention to your attributes and your strengths, and really harness those strengths to create a really great outcomes for yourself. I feel an energy of really applying yourself, applying your power, your personal power in life situations. But anyway, in this past energy, the Nine of Wands, you've come through a really, really challenging journey with either a business or a relationship or just your own becoming. For a lot of you, I think it is a relationship message. Some of you it won't be though. And so with the Nine of Wands, it tells me that this is maybe, for those of relationship, it was a very trying relationship, and that perhaps you wanted to give up many times, or perhaps you even did. And business, the same thing. Lots of trial and error, lots of mistakes made perhaps, or perceived mistakes, lots to learn, lots of bumps in the road, lots of exhausting trials and tribulations to get to this point. It just feels really important to talk about right now. Perhaps you've been reflecting. But in the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, you're turning that around. You've learned so much from the past, and you have decided to give it another go, or to try again in a different place, or with a different person, or maybe with the same person, who knows. But the point is, you are not giving up in this situation. You have got what it takes, and you have learned so much. With the Queen and Ten of Pentacles in the past energy, you may be starting to see a bit of financial flow. You might be seeing your business start to grow. You're seeing your finance, your assets growing. You might be starting to really find a nice grounded flow in your routine, or the way things are operating and running. I think that things are really growing in an abundant way for you with the Ten of Pentacles there in the current energy. So success in business, in financial situations, in family, in all connections really, within your community space as well, within your body, just really feeling well. And so as we move into the week ahead, we have got the Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So coming from the Queen and the Ten, this looks like, and there's so many oracle cards to suggest exactly the same thing. So if those of you that this is relationship, you can see here that your person is really showing up with you with the same intentions, on the same page, really, really connected to this. Absolutely. King and Queen of Pentacles with the 10 and Page between them. This is somebody a couple potentially, who is planning for the long haul, planning for the future, for the house you'll buy, for perhaps the business you'll invest in, or the types of lifestyle you wish to see, the holidays you'll have, all of those sorts of things. So really looking at big picture planning, looking at the future in really big ways, and finding success and small wins in the journey on the way there in their everyday life. Those of you that is not relationship related, this is also yourself and your business, or your place in the world, your career perhaps, your place within your community or within your family dynamics, where you're really seeing a lot of growth and a lot of connection, and the ability to show up for everyone in the ways that you really like to. Being able to make it to the soccer match, and being able to make it to the dance recitals, and whatever it is, the things that you do for your children, your family, your business, your community. There's a really beautiful energy, group 2, at this time for you to just enjoy connection and enjoy the roles that you have in your everyday life and the way you get to affect people and help people. We have this 4 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles as we continue through the week. So I see for some of you, this might be a literal occasion that you're planning for, a birthday or an anniversary. We have the 4 of Wands here, and it is the Halloween festivities in the picture. So I always like to read the 4 of Wands quite often with that community vibe, and coming together in our community and playing roles that are really important, and also witnessing other people in their roles, and just being an integral part of that, the mechanics of the way things run. Like, it just is, it's nice to be a part of. You're proud to be a part of it. if it's relationship and a family, things like that, you're proud to be by your partner's side. It's that sort of energy where you're really seeing a lot of progress and growth, you know, meeting with the neighbors, that sort of thing, like a real connected feeling this week. I really, really love it. So with the Seven of Pentacles, carrying on now with the Queen of Swords and the Empress to further into your week. So it really is a beautiful time of growth, a time of getting things done that need to be done, but enjoying them while you're doing them. Not everything shows results with the things that you're working on right now. Some of the things are a little subtle or under the surface, or maybe people don't know about everything that you're up to right now, but you're just biding your time to continue nurturing this new growth, this new relationship or business or whatever it is, and then perhaps you will reveal it to the world. There's a real sense of caution here with this Queen of Swords and Seven of Pentacles as well, to ensure that things are done properly and that communication is clear and concise and that everyone's on the same page. And so you're really making sure people understand you, and vice versa. You're taking that time to make sure you understand the people you're talking to, and that you're supporting them with their dreams. I get a lot of give and take, a lot of really nice ebb and flow. So it's a beautiful week, I've got to say, group 2, a beautiful week. Underlying energy for this reading is the High Priestess. See, I feel intuitively flowing with this week. You just know where you need to be, and everything you need comes before you as you need it. It's that sort of time for you. I'm just looking at what else is underneath there because I can't help myself. Yeah, you should all know that about me by now. So it does look like I can see why you're being cautious. And we did talk about the Nine of Wands, and I guess that's why it was so important to really just hash over how hard things might have been once upon a time, and that it's like, I don't know, I kind of get this, like, so some of you might feel like you've been tapped on the head with the little, like, where, like, almost like you've been tapped on the head with a wand, like, ding, you're blessed. And then suddenly things come to life for you, or that things are suddenly coming together, and part of it is a little mysterious and a little untrusting as well, like, ooh, is this actually going to be okay? Or so there might be some concerns, which brings me to the challenge. So let's go there. We've got the Page of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the World. So yeah, might be a little anxious that, you know, is this going to work out? Is this my new whole world? Is this my new life? Have I learned lessons from the past? Has my partner learned their lessons from the past? You know, are we on the same page? Is it going to work? Lots and lots of questions, you know. But I do feel that this feeling of being blessed right now, that things are coming together for you, it's safe to trust that. It actually is safe to trust that. You know, and I think some of you really need to hear that. Because the Nine of Swords is here. But even still, it's important to hear that when you've come through, you know, the Nine of Wands, when you've come through that energy, and then you're skipping off into the, you know, through the vineyards, having a beautiful time. You kind of got to pinch yourself, like, is this real? And that might be what you're doing sometimes here. Is this real? Yes, it is real. And with the Page of Wands, you might be worried about getting bitten, being hurt, taken advantage of. Just because of this depiction, she's been bitten by lizards. And might help her to stand up and get away from those lizards, things like that. Have I learned from my past lessons? Just little worries and things, you know, is this really happening? Or, you know, that whole thing. There's a lot of plans and things that I think you do want for your future, and you want them, and you've worked hard for them, and so there's no reason why you shouldn't have them. It's that sort of feeling, but there's still this worry that, oh, is it going to be taken away from me, or am I on the wrong track at any point? Which, no. Further guidance, what will help with the challenge: Ace of Swords, Temperance, and Magician. Just know everything's fine. Communicate with the Ace of Swords if this is to do with concerns with the partner, you're worried about their actions or what they're thinking, how they're feeling, can communicate with them, everything's fine. The Temperance card here is that balance, patience, moderation, ease, ebb and flow. You know, just go with the flow, take it nice and easy. Communicate clearly wherever there's a need to, and listen as well. With the Magician here, the Page of Wands, you know, it's like, you know, one person's still learning through trial and error, and the other one's just got it. They've got the tools in the tool belt. They've got all the resources required. Certainly not a time to be doubting yourself and your ability to navigate challenge or confrontation or anything at all, your own insecurities or fears. You just take it nice and easy. Keep balance in your life with that temperance card, so not too much of one thing. You know, if this is about a relationship coming back together and healing, then make sure you're still spending time with yourself and healing that relationship and keeping a nice balance in work play sort of dynamics, things like that. Further guidance here, we have got the 6, the Queen and the 2 of Cups. Beautiful energy of reunion, time with family, time with children, being a parent, enjoying play, or perhaps with your own inner child. If you're not a parent, that's okay. Nieces, nephews, friends, children. There's so many ways to play. Pets, just yourself. Engage in light-hearted play. And lean on your partner when there's problems, perhaps, or those in relationship. You know, don't be afraid to open up and share and communicate where needed with your partner and hear them and hear their woes. I'm hearing, like, listen to them, let them vent too. Be a companion, be a friend. For those not in relationship, this can be just friend dynamics. Lean on that friend that's there for you, that therapist, that counselor, book an appointment, whatever it is needed. Do what you need to do to support yourself, support your emotional well-being. Times are really good though. Enjoy dating if that is what is happening for you. Plan dates, make them happen, things like that. Or catch up with that girlfriend for coffee. Be a companion. That's right down to the level of being a companion to your pet. Make sure they get their daily walk, all of that sort of stuff. Like really tending to emotional needs of yourself and the people around you. Just being really supportive, and it's really just lovely energy. So nice. The outcome for this reading, could it get any better? I love this picture actually, because I feel like for a lot of you this is what your heart truly desires. Because I see so much of this about family and coming together for meals. There's so many images of that in this deck. And I honestly started with a different deck, but as I was shuffling it just felt wrong. I was like, this is not the deck for group 2. This one was. And now I see why. Because of all these imageries, all this imagery of connection that's coming through here. And so with this 9 of Pentacles, so those of you may not have that special relationship at this time, but it's something you're welcoming into your life, as you're still building that solid foundation for yourself perhaps. But with the 9 of Pentacles in the outcome, she's got this beautiful banquet here, and she's like waiting, you know, she's open to receive these people to join her. She has some more than enough to share. And then the next is that, literally that, is everyone's coming together with the Sun card. And sharing in that meal and being together and just enjoying life. And then with the Star as well, there's so many beautiful blessings on your horizon, group 2. There's so many. They're already happening, and there are more coming in. And so the Oracle cards will really speak to exactly that. Let's go in. With the second bloom, a second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. And this is exactly that. This is that journey of perhaps you've come through a really long and trying career, and you may feel like, oh, I've put too long into this, and now I'm perhaps too old to go and start something new. You know, that's not the case with this second chance. It's never too late. For those of you that have had trying relationships, this is a second chance in your relationship to really make it work. This time for new possibilities, really, things, whatever it is that you're trying again or you're working towards right now, you can really expect great results. We have drunk with love, let love lift you to freedom. And this can be very much about being literally drunk with love. There's a lot of talk about, you know, being in connection and enjoying that. But this card is mostly about being drunk with love in the sense of seeing life through the eyes of love and being quite optimistic and seeing things quite lightheartedly. Let's perhaps have a look at the book and see what it has to say. Drunk with love. When life is mundane and waking up in the mornings is void of excitement, it means we're pulling away from our dreams. This is when we need to improve our personal lives and make positive changes in our relationships. Being drunk with love removes the barriers that have held us apart from others, from the divine and from the world. Now is the time to focus on love and on giving from the heart, perhaps to rebuild an old love connection or initiate a fresh start. but to truly let love in your life and enjoy see that through your whole reading, where you really are just looking to connect with life and people and be a part of it. The next oracle card you have is blessings, which is that same feeling I went that, where was it? The Ace of Wands I was touching before. It just felt like, yeah, and that's what this card is about too. You may feel like you've been just touched with the wand of blessings. And you can expect a lot more of that in your future at this time. And maybe even spending time in nature just like this, like getting to go out into the mossy forest and put your feet into the fresh water and just enjoy these bountiful blessings that are all around you. There's actually a lot of nature. They're spending time in the garden. There's so much. Yeah. It's a beautiful week, a beautiful time of your life. Blessings, many of them for you. We have voyage, a time to perhaps travel and see different horizons, let yourself move into a different time in life. Let's see what the book has to say. Get ready, you're about to embark on a journey. It might be an inner journey or an outer voyage to a distant land. It might be a project or an idea that is coming to life, but most certainly you are an intrepid traveler. Goodness, what a mouthful. Sallying forth into the unknown. Where do you want to go? What have you always wanted to be or do? This is the time to make it happen. Get prepared, have a clear vision of what you want to experience, but also be prepared for the unexpected. That is a part of the exhilaration of being a traveler. Remember to enjoy the journey just as much as reaching the destination. Very important. Very, very important. Enjoy the now, the here, the becoming, the process. The sweet little blessings. That's like really is the most important part. Because otherwise you'll get there and you won't even know where you are. I hope that made sense. All right. Further oracles, you actually have the sun, which you had the sun in your outcome as well. Such a beautiful card. I really love this deck. Source. And this is exactly that message of optimism and growth and blessings and really shining and letting yourself be seen for the beautiful being that you are. This is about really getting out of your own way and getting out of ego's way and just truly letting yourself be moved by spirit. The High Priestess here on the bottom of the deck, like let yourself just be moved to wherever you need to move to and shine your beautiful light on every single person that comes across your path. Be that reason that they have to smile, you know. Bring them into the moment with your own infectious joy. It's that sort of thing. It's Leo's energy. It's being a teacher, being a leader, being a way shower, a carer, somebody who promotes fun. It's just a brightness. We have conjunction, a card of alliance, and connecting with other people, which is amazing because the next card you actually have is make new friends. This is a time for you to really enjoy and nurture the connections you already have in your life. And to make new ones. And then for those of you who would like to have connections because you're feeling like you don't, then it is definitely time you will move further and a lot more blessings will come into your life through other people. You will move a lot further in life. You'll learn so much more if you are to connect with other people. Those that are in the Brisbane area, there's actually a women's circle that I run with a friend. So do reach out. That's available to anybody. It's for women and children. Alliance and Sun and Alliance as well. Like look at both those cards together, quite matching in their beautiful bright yellow, golden energy. My nails are actually golden today. They weren't meant to be. The color I chose was pink. They dried gold. All right, we have practice gratitude as well. For this group, time to acknowledge what you're grateful for. It really does bring a lot more in. There's beautiful hand to heart practices you can do as well, really going through each thing that you are grateful for, verbalizing that. And rest, another one, which is a perfect when we did speak of balance. You've got all this wonderful connection and happening things in and out, and yeah, there's so much happening for you at this time. So be sure to balance that out with a good solid rest and make sure you're meeting your own needs as well while you're out there shining your big light on everyone else. So group 2, that is what I have for you in this reading. I hope that it's given you some sort of comfort, clarity or guidance. If you're after a private reading, you can get those in the description box below. That being said, I'll leave you with it, group 2, and I'll look forward to reading for you all again next time. Take care. Hey group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you've chosen this pink banded agate, then this one is for you. Sweet stone. So the pink banded agate, a stone of femininity and creativity and nurturing. It's a stone to help us see the bigger picture of a situation while still paying attention to the details, helping dissolve stress and move through any detox, coming out of nervousness and just back into power and flow and creativity. So let's jump into the past energy for you, group 3. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, the Devil, and 4 of Pentacles. So I see Capricorn's energy there. I can also see Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. Leo quite strongly. I see Virgo as well, and Cancer and Pisces all here. So anyway, might be in your sign, might not, all good. We have the 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. So this could pertain to anything. This could be lifestyle choices, career front, or it could be about a significant relationship in your life. But what I see here in the past is you've done a lot of work. I want to say this is more about you, this bit, where you've done a lot of work on turning yourself around, turning your life situation around, maybe even turning your finances around, definitely turning your health around. Like a lot of work. 5 of 8 of Pentacles, right? So there's been a lack. There's been something not going right. A relationship, perhaps. This could be childhood wounds that you've worked really hard on to clear. This could be a financial situation that's really drained you. Health choices, or just a cumulative life choices that have really taken a toll on your health, either physical or mental. But the point is, the 8 of Pentacles is next. So you've really shown up in the past. You've done a lot of self-healing, a lot of work, and you're continuing on that journey. It's from a very dark and deep moment, perhaps, that you realized where your power is and that you've actually got what it takes to turn this around. You've done that already. And with the 4 of Pentacles and the Devil here as well, it shows that it shows a lot of things, actually. For some of you, you may still struggle, have still struggled with certain choices, relationships, addictions, or things that you're still perhaps learning to release, learning to regain your power over. With the 4 of Pentacles and the Devil here as well, I kind of feel like some of you may struggled alone with a lot of your darkness, not opened up to too many people. For others, you've also been trying to protect yourself from perhaps a negative influence in your life in the past. This energy is something that you really needed to protect yourself from. And I feel like that's something here for some of you. You may have, a certain situation of recent past has made you sort of dig a little deeper into the core wounds so that you don't have to track this situation or similar again. Like you're starting to really look at the deep inner work required, not just fixing the symptoms of a situation, but truly getting to the core. So this could really pertain to anything, but you're really seeing things for what they are and the changes that you'd like to make. And so I think as well that a lot of you, this journey could be like the recovery of something really dark, could have been a really long time in your past, but it has a lot to do with where you are now and where you're headed and what you have to offer the world for some reason. Maybe it's that you know the way so you can help other people through similar trauma, or you just use your experiences to guide you through life in such a way that teaches other people as well. I see a very self-protective energy, a very closed energy as well. So it might be a good time for you to sort of open up a little bit to new opportunities, new connections, to not close yourself away and deal with it all on your own. Let's further into the week ahead energy. We have the 2, oh goodness, can I pick it up? There we go. The 2 of Swords, the World, and the Hermit reversed. It flipped out reversed in such a way I'll keep it. I don't normally have reversals unless they flip that way, and then I'll take it. And they do when they need to, hence the Hermit reversed. And I do feel with this 2 of Swords, the World, like quite a uncertain energy here. So it is definitely time for you to open up and reach out to people, or put yourself in situations where you're going to connect with other people that may be very paramount on your journey ahead, like really pivotal meetings with people, things that can change you or share information or vice versa that help bring in the next chapter. Like, so it feels like you really need to open up because there's something important coming. That's kind of how it feels, or someone important coming, and it could seem inconsequential at the time, right? But, you know, so I do think it's very important to open up at this time, even though the healing journey sometimes makes us want to retreat and just be alone and nurture ourselves. And sometimes it's so that we don't get hurt again. And that's a real thing to identify and be aware of, because you're then stopping yourself from all the other wonderful blessings of life. So I do feel here it is a time to sort of open yourself back up again, even if you're not so certain about, you know, how things are going to work out. And there's a nervousness here, I do feel. Interesting, because last week or so it's been really high vibe energy, and now we've hit this energy this week, which feels like, it doesn't, not to say it feels low vibe or anything like that, it just seems that some things are being acknowledged now for a little deeper healing as we move forward. So whatever's coming up for deeper healing, for acknowledgement, you know, be with that, let that happen. Seven of Pentacles on the underlying energy. I see the Three of Wands and the Four of Swords underneath that. The Eight of Cups underneath that. I just can't help myself. I'll stop there. So the underlying energy of this whole reading is moving yourself away from something really painful. And like I said, that could be long distant past pain. But you're still healing, and you're still waiting, invested in that healing, and waiting to see the results of all of this change. You're still waiting to apply this change. You're still going through it. It's a very much an expansive energy you're moving through, but it takes a lot of time. And it's really, the Four of Pentacles is here, the Two of Swords, like there's a real sense of maybe feeling like, oh, I'm not making enough progress, or I'm not as far ahead as I'd like to be. Any of that pressure, definitely releasing that right now, because you're exactly where you need to be. This underlying energy is asking you to continue investing, continue contemplating and meditating and discovering your truth and what you want, because you are the navigator here. You're the one choosing which way you go from this point. And that could have everything to do with what you've been through. Maybe other people influenced your choices in the past and you've ended up in a life you didn't want. And therefore you then made these changes. And so it's very important that you continue to be the one making your own choices here. Further guide, where are we? Week ahead. Yes. Okay, so with the Hermit reverse, the World here, very much a time for you to start shining and start reaching out to people and letting yourself be seen by the world. Quite literally have the World card here. Maybe you're sharing your work on the world stage and not hiding away anymore, Hermit reversed. It's also a time to share your weirdness with the world, your beauty, the things that you may think other people would judge you harshly for. So you'd be surprised, I think, by sharing that with the world, the reflections you might get. I think there's a real message here of embracing your uniqueness and then sharing that with other like minds, because they will embrace you too. So we have the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess, the Ace of Wands, and the Chariot in the week ahead. So there's a lot of processing. Like I said, what did I say at the start? It feels like something's being, I don't know what I said, something seems to be coming to light anyway, and it feels more about the internal self. It could be in a situation externally, but take it how it resonates. The Knight of Wands now with the High Priestess, Ace of Wands, Chariot, all of this to me feels like you are really feeling yourself this week as the week rolls on. You might be connecting with other people, like we saw the Hermit reverse. Something might really bring you out of your shell, maybe an invitation to go and join a group or do an event or something, a workshop, who knows. But the Knight of Wands is often a very motivated energy, very infectious energy with its joy and its passion for life and whatever it's into. So this is for me, for you, for group 3, and quite often, we're not surprised to see a High Priestess show up. Quite often group 3, very mystical people connecting to this group, readers yourselves, healers, teachers, way showers, just uniquely, beautifully strange people, each and every one. I'm often a group 3 in many readings I look at myself, although they do change. We even have the Third Eye Oracle here for this group, sitting above the High Priestess. So you're very intuitive, very connected, and that can be hard to grow up with in this world. It's later in life where we start to meet other people who've come into their own skin a bit, where, you know, we find it a lot more comfortable to meet other people on a similar page or journey. But anyway, I feel this is you coming into your power or feeling yourself, enjoying your personal practices or any rituals you might be engaging in, any music you're creating, art you're painting, stories you're writing. This is a very creative energy. It feels almost like divine channeling as well. Some of you might be divinely channeling messages for people. You might be doing readings just like this. But I see here a really, really nice energy. This even trickles out into what I would call the weekend if you've connected at time of recording, where you're having a really good time. You might be watching other people perform their art or their craft, or it's really, really passionate and connected and enthusiastic sort of energy that I can see here for you. So you might be wanting to get a bit of fitness or do something active this weekend, or something that helps you express your creative self. With Chariot and movement there, Ace of Swords, definitely making plans to move or to get things going in a certain direction. You could be talking about a new project you're starting or having a new idea come in that you want to really get moving, like very excited, sparks a lot of passion in you. So I think, yeah, this is very much feels like a week of sort of just identifying some of the pains of the past you're still moving through. And while you move through those, you're still letting the new self emerge. You're not letting that old self hold you back. It kind of feels like, a bit of both in a way. I hope that makes sense. And so hold space for that. When I say, what I mean by that is, like, I guess on a day where you feel a little really processing the past and pain and the things yet to be changed or grow and evolve, to hold space for that, allow that day to happen and move into practices that help dissipate some of that energy perhaps. And then on days when you're feeling yourself and you've got lots happening, then, roll with that too. Because there's a lot of self-expression and connecting with other people, but letting yourself be heard and seen, like letting your messages or your art or your craft be shown to the world. I feel like for some of you, this is not something that's happening yet, but it's something you would like. And this reading is perhaps to sort of encourage you towards that direction of meeting with other people, collaborating with other artists, or whatever it is. In the challenge, we have the Three of Pentacles with the Page of Cups and the Six of Wands. Sorry, the Queen of Cups and the Six of Wands. I'll say Page of Cups because it's similar energy, and I said it. So it does talk about connections and friendship and compassion and meetings of the heart, meeting people in that sweet space. And this is in the area of challenge where you're not being seen, you're not feeling connected perhaps you're a little withdrawn at this time. We see that in the reading here. Where do I belong in the world, perhaps some of you are asking. Or maybe there's even been challenge in friendship, so you might be feeling like you just want to take time out from that or something. But with Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups and the Six of Wands in the challenge, it tells me that there's a little bit of struggle finding like minds right now, or being able to open up, or even let yourself, maybe the like minds, but letting yourself join them, to let yourself be seen, to share your art or your craft with the world might be the challenge right now. You might be feeling like you're either getting too much of the wrong attention or not enough of the right attention. Six of Wands is very much a public eye card, a card of being acknowledged for the efforts that you make. So you might not be feeling acknowledged or seen in your current circle, or it might just be something that your soul needs right now, to just be witnessed a little bit. So in the area of what will help with that, we have Justice, Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. And I do feel here that this is a time for you to try new things. There's a lot of different opportunities with that Seven of Cups there. And joining other people doesn't necessarily mean losing part of yourself, because the Nine of Pentacles is here and that might be a concern for you. Codependence or attachment, things of that nature might be really daunting for you, especially when I see so much struggle in the past with particularly abandonment or rejection or attachment. You've worked so hard on these areas of life, I can see that. So you're not going to lose yourself by joining with another or joining into a community. You still can honor your own creative process and your own unique way and style, and still be embraced by the collective, if that was a concern for you. I think it's definitely a good idea to put yourself out there though. Let's see what thank you Four of Wands, my community card on the bottom of the deck, with Temperance here, taking it nice and slow. Justice was the confirmation card I was looking for. Six of Pentacles I can see, Seven of Wands. All right. For some of you, it's a really mixed message. For some of you, this is about connections in the past that haven't worked out. Therefore, you're very self-protective, and it's important to perhaps, I think, let those experiences go and let yourself be seen and witnessed by other people, being open to new connection, maintaining a nice balance in your own life with your personal time. You know, you might be getting too much personal time and not enough connection with others. I really think that that's what that's about. And the Nine of Pentacles, trusting in the abundance that you already have and your ability to create more of that, no matter what this situation is about. Do not let other people sway your decisions. To just be confident in your own choices. Page of Wands here and the Ace of Pentacles. I see the Nine of Swords on the bottom of the deck. If there's any fears and anxieties about going on a new adventure, meeting new people, reaching out, letting yourself be seen, having new beginnings of any kind, work on that. Let that go. Nine of Wands, a little bit tired and resilient. Death is here. Transformation. This is a big time of change for you. And yeah, that can be daunting to how people are going to take the new you. That may be daunting sometimes. Or how are you going to fit into new communities or connections or workplaces. Just beautifully is how you will. Further guidance is the amazing, look at all this golden energy. Just keep getting lots of chunks of gold in these readings. And it's interesting because I had the nails repainted this morning and I chose pink. And when it came out a little heat thing, the UV lamp, they were gold. Like there's no pink in this nail polish. Very strange, but we went with it, so just go with it. The Sun, the Eight of Wands, and Judgment. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this so positive? The Sun is all about growth and illuminating the path ahead with the Eight of Wands, and really connecting to your purpose, your passion, finishing the things that you once started, you know, seeing things through, letting yourself grow through the changes, allowing yourself to really choose from the heart, choose joy, choose the things for yourself that make you happy. With the Judgment there, it is very much a card of realizing the truth of a situation or having an epiphany or going through a major awakening that it really excels you forwards. For a lot of you, I do feel like this is a message you have to share, that you've actually got a great, what do I want to say? There's a lot of teachings, and it could be about anything, that you've got something to share with the world, whether it's a business idea or project or just healing messages with the collective. There's a real light inside of you and a real way with words, and I do feel like that should be utilized because there's just a lot of positivity coming in for you. And to see these cards as they sit above the past energy of, you know, this lacking, being out in the cold or alone or isolated or sick, unwell, unhappy, the devil, being chained down, powerless. You know, you've worked so hard to get out of that situation in the past. You've really done quite a lot of work on yourself and on building foundations, and that'll continue. I think it's important to acknowledge how far you have come, because there seems to be something getting behind you very soon to sort of propel you forward again and bring in a lot of new connections into your life. So the outcome in the tarot, we have the Magician, Six of Swords, and the Six of Cups. Such a beautiful combination to finish this reading, because the Magician here, I think group 2 had Magician in the outcome as well. So nice to see that we're moving towards our personal power and utilizing our resources to cultivate a really good life, basically. The Magician is capable and competent and confident, and that's what you're heading into. Somebody who's got so many different skills that people can come to you and you can really help them. Perhaps I do get the sense that some of you are helping other people move through things that you once went through, like, or you use the pain of your past and use that to help others in the future. There's a lot to be said here about using your power, your ability to help situations become a lot more peaceful and joyful, bringing healing into all family connections. I can see that happening here, releasing the heaviness, the emotional baggage, allowing reunion to take place. A allowing yourself to connect with soulmates and soul tribe. Six of Cups is very much that energy of connecting to people we feel we've walked this life or a life with before, or people that feel like family to us. You're using your own personal power to just move on or move forward. So in the oracles for this reading, we have the breathing rose, heart healing, emotions, connection, and time eases. Let's have a little look at the book. Often healing is a slow, steady process. It's complex, not linear. It takes as long as it takes. And most of the time, that's much longer than we'd wish. But like all things in nature, there's a mysterious intelligence to it. And if we trust it and let the vibrant petals fall to the earth, cut back what's no longer, and protect the new shoots and buds from being pried open, we may find ourselves in a second bloom, which is really interesting because Group 2's card was second bloom. If you feel drawn to listen to Group 2, I highly recommend that, because it kind of feels like it would make sense that you would listen to 3 and then 2, now that I go there. And sometimes it can help if you get to the end of the reading, then go back to the start. Even though 2 weren't calling to you before, you go back to the start and a fresh pile is calling to you. That can happen too. But anyway, find yourselves in a second bloom. And fruit will follow. You can't manufacture that. We must trust the great mystery in the process. The bud somehow manages to burst through the constraints by opening to life. All of nature has this intelligence within it. The challenge when we're going through a time of healing, which is another word for growth, transformation, change, is to not close ourselves off from the world when we most want to separate and shut down. I've seen that here for sure. To somehow find the courage to open through the agony, the difficulty, and the hurt. When we feel safe enough to let life soften us, not harden us, to deepen and cradle us. This is a card of deep heart healing. It will often come to us as a symbol of emotional healing that's in the process of happening. The mending's underway. Treat yourself and your healing with compassion, understanding, and gentleness. This card is of deep encouragement that you're doing it. Time will ease everything soon. This whole reading has exactly said that, just so well. Find the path. You are the deriver and the navigator from the Sufi Wisdom Oracle. This is absolutely that message of navigating your own life, making your own choices, choosing joy, and not being swayed by other people's opinions, or choosing based on what you feel they would want. Those that love you will love you making the choices that are best for you. We have Descendant, Invitation, beautiful card of who we invite into our life, into our world, and being solid within ourselves to have healthy boundaries in connections. Let's have a look at the book here with action. Or the challenge or the gift. The challenge when you give your challenge is you give your power away when instead of working together you ask others to be what's missing for yourself in yourself. And the gift is to tend the inlet to your heart. Invite in relationships that are clear, healing, nurturing, self-responsible, and encouraging of mutual evolution. Look at how you invite others to dance with you and to relate. Be welcoming while also keeping healthy boundaries in place. Once you feel comfortable about your ground rules for the people you bring into your life, it's easier to open your heart. If you notice that you keep people at a distance or avoid meeting new people, investigate this habit. Though it might have been important to protect yourself at one time in your life, consider how it is working for you now and what would help you to feel safe enough to open this door. Also notice what areas of your life you ask people to do your work for you. The Descendant can point to what you might try to import from other people. While this practice can refer to an important skill in a work situation, it has its dangers in a personal relationship. If you feel disempowered, you might be drawn to powerful people. If you're an extrovert who inwardly craves emotional and spiritual intimacy, you might draw in someone who helps you feel cozy at home. It's wonderful when others can help you develop latent characteristics within yourself, but if you ask them to do this for you, then they leave, there goes your resource. If you see them as only an extension of yourself, you can't really see them. When you develop your own resources, you can see others as a whole being in their own needs and gifts. What a beautiful message. Descendant. Even the colouring is, beautiful deck. Alright, we also have from the Sacred Destiny Oracle, personal power. This is a time for you to step into your personal power. Absolutely. Create the changes you wish to see. Own your power, own your choices, own the consequences. This is absolutely a time to go for it. A massive encouragement, and it doesn't mean you won't be fearful. It doesn't mean you won't second guess yourself at steps along the way. But it is a card that says there's a lot of power building up within you and behind you and encouraging you to really go for it. We have create a routine. Having a routine helps limit procrastination and give us structure. Sometimes a to-do list is really helpful. You'll know what's needed there. We have the third eye chakra. For this particular deck, it says that it is out of balance, but you may feel that way. You may feel a little blocked at times, but if you do feel that way, I see that absolutely changing very, very soon, especially because the Two of Swords is the current energy and the Four of Pentacles. So right now at the time of this reading, you might feel a little blocked, a little closed, but it won't stay that way. You're moving through a process that'll help open that back up. Meditation or just grounding and staying in the body, more like lower chakra work can actually sometimes really help that naturally. With the personal prompts, we have date. This isn't only about dating other people and going out on dates and enjoying yourself, but it's also dating yourself. While you're cooking dinner, pop on a bit of music, dress up a little nice maybe, do things a little differently for yourself, with a friend, or if you have a partner, to actually have a date, to organize a beautiful date, doing something a little fun or different, cooking together or something. We also have dance. I love this practice, this prompt. It's always so invigorating, so just activating. If you haven't ever connected with the practice of dance, I highly recommend you create a relationship with that. And that can be a journey within itself, a bit of criticism and self-judgment and all of that to move past as you just let your body move however it wants to, and with the beat, with the music, every little joint, everything, all of it. Dance. All right, so group 3, that is what I have for you for this reading. I hope it has given you some sort of comfort, clarity, or guidance. It did feel like an interesting one this week. So if you're after a private reading, group 3, they will be in the description box below. You can book them in there. And hope you've enjoyed your reading, and I'll read for you again next time. Take care, group 3. Bye.